We got sound now. I can hear it. Good morning. We got sound check? Breaker breaker 19 to all the preppers out there. Good morning. We got a lot of bad weather here today, so I'm hoping that this live stream doesn't have a lot of issues. If somebody could give me a sound check, I would highly appreciate it. Let me see if I can pull the chat up. I got some quirks to work out, so we're going to be having news 5 days this week so that I can kind of get everything situated on this new program. And once I get it down, it's going to be a lot better for everybody. Now, okay, I'm getting rid of the echo. Is that a lot better? Or are we spinning out?
We
Got a five
sometimes
by five.
forget that there's patients out there who really need support. What matters to
All right, wonderful. Let me pull the chat out. So there's a lot of things going on, and I kind of want to talk about climate change. Yep, everything's going to be about climate change. It's all blamed on climate change. Can you all believe this? It's unbelievable. But let's take a look at something. We've been looking at the Maritime probably for, oh gosh, it's really interesting to me that they're starting to blame everything on climate change. Yeah, we do have bad weather here, so hopefully we can get through this broadcast. We got storms coming in here to the Ozarks today. But I want y'all to take a look at something here. So there's the Maritime and Panama Canal. So there's a backlog right now of ships sitting out there, and they're saying that it's due to climate change. It's all climate change's fault, and it's really interesting to me. Same situation that happened last time in the ports, except this time it's pretty bad because Panama brings everything in. So they're going to say there's a big clog down there due to climate change. Uh, you can see by the photos, right now they have about 65 cargo ships setting out in La La Land. That's right, 65. So last time when this happened at Long Beach, we had roughly, I think it ended up being around 2 to 300. So we will see where this heads, but I think this is heading to a catastrophe. And I think that with everything that's happened, that we have to look at the big picture. And the big picture is this: everything's going to be blamed on climate change. That's the only thing. It's the only thing they can talk about. It's the only situation. But if you look right here and we zoom in a little bit, look at that, folks. Let me back it up. So they're just lingering out there, and it's going to get to the point that it's going to cut off a supply chain once again for the United States. And it is concerning, especially with all the shortages and everything we've seen. Right now, international shipping is planned to go through the Panama Canal. They're saying that it can be temporarily paused unless the cargo company has already carried out backup shipping routes. And I thought that was very interesting. But it's going to get worse before it gets better. The Panama Canal pile up. Actually, they just updated it. 154 vessels. So we have 154 vessels that are sitting out there loitering, and usually it's somewhere between 5 to 8 vessels. So it's getting to the point that it's really really unbelievable the things that are happening. I When we see the huge thing in the next two to, I would say probably within the by the end of the month, we're going to have major locks and restrictions due to ongoing drought conditions. Right now they're staying in effect until August 21st. But I think we have to realize that 40% of all the U.S. container traffic travels through the Panama Canal every single year. And this is going to get worse and worse. Marine shipping experts are very concerned. The numbers of vessel waiting right now has reached 154. The slots for carriers to book passage are being reduced in an effort to manage congestion caused by the ongoing drought conditions. And this has been going on since spring, but now it's really escalating. Somebody had sent me an email and they said, OTWP, you always stay up on the Maritime. Could you tell me what's going on? So it is a critical trade link for U.S. shippers heading to the Gulf and East Coast ports. And the U.S. is the largest user of the Panama Canal. Without the total U.S. commodity export and import containers represent about 73% of the Panama Canal traffic. So that's $270 billion in cargo that travels through that canal every year. And this massive pileup, they just keep saying it's because a result of water conservation measures. The Panama Canal Authority deployed in June. And they just keep talking about that it's going to get worse and worse. I've been looking into it more and more. The funny thing to me is this started in July, and then they adjusted it down to 32 vessels per day, 10 vessels that were lower, right? That they could serve larger vessels. And then the water conservation measures transits were from 34 to 36 a day. When the daily capacity is reduced, ships lacking reservations are compelled to wait in line. The Panama Canal Authority told CNBC 38% ship waiting do have reservations. The remaining 62% of the ships do not. What it means that they could have to wait for weeks and weeks. And we see what happened in Long Beach. When this occurred in Long Beach, they were waiting out there for months. Yeah, yeah. Well, the west side's not really that bad, Nunya. Let me pull this up here. You can see it. Let me see real quick here. Let me pull over to the west. Yeah, the west is not that bad. As you go up here, you can see a clog starting here in Savannah area. But what's concerning me is if we get three clogs going on at one time, folks, we're going to see major shortages. And when would that happen? Probably this winter. So that's something, I always watch this. The other interesting thing, let me see if you can see it or if it's not moving here with me. It doesn't look like it's moving. Yeah. So if you pull this up and you go up in here, we have another concern. Up here by the Aleutian Islands, same thing. Uh, but the interesting thing is they're coming in here to Vancouver. Can y'all see that yet? I don't know if you can see it or not. So it is starting to pull up into Vancouver area. And that's pretty concerning as well because, okay, y'all can't even see it. What happened here? Hold on. There we go. There we go. Now let me pull it up here to. So we have the same thing happening up into Long Beach. It's starting to clog up, but it's not like it was. It's not even close to that, right? Um, you can see there in Long Beach, it's starting to occur again. But right there? Okay, let me zoom back in so y'all can see it. It is very interesting. You can see here up north it's worse, but down here it's not that bad yet, Manya. I mean, there's a little bit more than daily activity. What happened in 2020 and 21, where we had the major situation. During that situation, there was actually hundreds and hundreds. Yeah, it is going to cause some issues, but let's go up here a minute and take a look up toward the north. Now, remember, we've been talking about this for going on 3 years, and go up here. Let's zoom out so that you can see the big picture. If you notice the wave of cargo ships, the maritime ships are, this is our major carriers coming in. This is always, usually they're not this close up into where my cursor is right now, which is like Juneau, Alaska. But if you notice right there, also in Vancouver. So there's a pileup coming right there, and that does concern me because here's the Aleutian Islands, and for some reason, we got a lot of fishing vessels out there again. And this is being reported from military news and all kinds of military reports coming in that they are very concerned with all these military ships coming in. Yeah, so glad to see everybody. Rick, good morning, Rick. Elaine, yes, it is, Elaine. Things are really heating up. Dreaded Seeker, nice to see you. I'm going here through the chat real quick. Uh, I think the main thing is that we all need to keep really preparing because what's going to occur is that we're going to have this situation like we did in 2020 where you're unable to get the things we need. And that to me is a little worrisome because we know what happened the first time. And so if this escalates even worse, you know, there's also a big shortage in medicine, and that's also concerning. They're calling it every which way, right, folks? We have all these fires starting, and there's so much information coming out about these fires. The fires, to me, are really a huge thing because Bougie, good morning. Tam, good morning. Good morning, dreaded seeker. I know I said it, but hello. It's really concerning to me because the thing is, I could never figure out how they were going to roll in Agenda 2030. Now it is Monday morning. It's my day off. It's like my Sunday, and bon appetit. I need my coffee. I'll tell you what. We've been stacking up on coffee. I'm trying to get coffee out like 2 years. I need at least 2 years worth of coffee, and then yeah, the storms are starting to roll in Annie Oakley. Do we have good audio? That's the most important thing. If you can't see my, well, you're right. There's so much going on. Good morning, West Texas, Danielle. You're right. There's so much going on, Country Prepper 19. Good morning, All American. It's it's almost like I can't even report the news because by the time I start to report on an article and I dig into it, 17 other things have happened. And I think that each one of us are starting to see this more and more. Like, I don't know how anybody cannot realize what's happening. When the rest of this comes in with BRICS, folks, we're going to have a huge problem in the United States. We are going to have a situation where when the American dollar crumbles, all of us are, we're going to lose a lot. We're going to lose retirements, IRAs, and then old number 46 is talking about cutting Social Security. I mean, what's next? I hope that each and every one of you is not just prepping stuff, but that you're actually prepping skills. Because without the skills, where are you going to be? Thank you, All American, for that sound check. It's just, I think the video's a little off because of the storms coming in. We're supposed to have storms all day, but I thank God every day we get rain. I'm filling up one rain catch barrel after the other. Um, Water is going to be a big, huge thing. I think also, me and my brother had a long, in-depth talk. He has worked for oil and gas for many years. He worked down in Katrina, so he does like the cleanups. And he was talking about all these train derailments. When these train derailments happen, Most of them, the majority of them, were near waterways. So once the groundwater gets you know, contaminated, my brother was saying it takes anywhere from a minimum of 5 up to literally 50, 60 years for that water to clean itself naturally. And that concerns me because how many train derailments were near water or went into the water? We see these situations occurring more and more. You know, we all, good morning, remaining remnant. You know, I think it's really, really important, like Dreaded Seeker said right there in the chat, uh, not to just keep us busy with all the distractions, but to get on point. If you are not prepping, I will tell you this, you might be in for a real shit show this winter. You know, this fall and winter, I feel that in the name of climate change, they are going to put the hammer down. They're going to put the hammer down. You know, I believe that there's organizations coming out, these, you know, these three-letter ones, and they're coming out and they're talking about that they may need to put a lockdown situation in the name of climate change. And also, we have a situation in New York that they're getting more and more reports about the big Kool-Aid going up and people getting sick. So, you know, what's next? I don't even know if I want to say that statement because of how everything has been. It's very, it's unbelievable what they're doing. It really is. And I don't think that there's anybody on this chat right now. What happened in Maui, for example, me and Dragonflash were talking about this. She has been in, oh my gosh, folks, probably, I think 12, I think 12 hurricanes. And never in any of those hurricanes were there a major fire. Also, there's people reporting from Hawaii, from Maui. And they said that how did it skip the Big Island and hit direct into Maui? And so that's another thing. And I was like, you know, some of the reports, I will say this, some of the reports that are coming in from Maui are are not correct. People are taking videos that were from last year that we watched on this channel about the gas line break, and they're posting that it happened in Maui. So be very careful. There is a lot of perpetrators right now trying to get their fame by posting stuff that's not true. And you definitely have to look around. Good morning, Brian. Yeah, yeah, I feel it, Elaine. I truly believe that we're going to have another lockdown. Um, how many people are going to comply and how many people are going to go absolutely ballistic is the other question. I think the biggest thing is that if they can hit us in our wallet, then people are going to fall for the CBDC, Fed now. Once that rolls in on us, folks, I mean, I'm not trying to be doom and gloomy. It's Monday morning. But I'll tell you what, if there is not something or some way or some body of people that stop this, we are going to see a real shit show. Welcome to the chat, Blue 777. We're going to see a real shit show. If people go to the bank, all their assets are frozen or gone, I think that will go on. You know, we have to keep prepping by pulling out whatever amounts of cash you can and purchasing a little silver. It's the only thing that I can find that's hopefully going to pull us through. Because when BRICS launches their currency that's gold back, this country is in big trouble. And I think we are going to have. Oh, Blue Ocala, welcome to the chat. And All American Prepper, I agree with you. You know, there's a lot of great places that you can get your antibiotics. And if you're on a prescription, you better try to get 60 or 90 days out, because one this Panama Canal thing really concerns me, but then the Aleutian Island concerns me. I think that we're about to be invaded from every angle, which we already are if you really look at it. Our food, our medicines, there's all kinds of recalls. We have a military issue, a big military issue. Right now, North Korea, China, they're all raising their ugly heads. But back to the BRICS thing, real quickly. So many countries that have gotten abused by the United States' power are jumping on BRICS. And if you all remember this, it was over a year and a half ago that we talked about the gold rush. And I think it was about a year and a half. And all these countries that are joining BRICS were on that list of the gold rush. They were all purchasing gold almost 2 years ago. Good morning, Sparkle On. Those that think outside the box are able to create. We will be able to get by. Right now, we are living a lot like my grandparents. Yep. And I think we're going to see era of the Great Depression, except on steroids. We have this generation of people that feel that everything should be handed out to them. And when they can't go on Facebook or Twitter Twatter or dance to these ice cream weird stuff they're doing, they're going to have a meltdown. We just had a 6-year-old boy not too long ago shoot and kill somebody. And I think that the crime rate, good morning, Cherie. I think the crime rate is going to, it's already 800, 900, 1100% on the West Coast jump since 2019. And I think that once this really goes full tilt, we're going to see that all across the United States. And to me, that's even more concerning, because we're going to have these little young thugs that think they're just going to come take everything. So what we're going to do is be in individual tribal battles across the country. I think the most important thing is to get a local mag, learn how to barter, find those local farmers and gardens that you can do some trading with. Yeah, I don't see. I went to the store for 6 years. All American prepper. I love you, brother. I think that a lot of people need to realize that this is not Red Dawn. It's not Mad Max. Like, this is truly gonna happen. It's happening. And, I have to chuckle sometimes. I think that the younger generation is gonna have a hard time adjusting. They're gonna come off sideways. They're gonna come off totally sideways. That's for sure. Oh, it's already happening, All American Prepper. There's been whole families that somebody lost their livelihood, their job, or whatever, and they've taken out their whole family. We're going to see mass suicides, mass crime, mass looting, and believe it, I mean, think about it. The grocery stores and all the businesses, they're going to lock their doors. They'll lock their doors and board up their windows. Oh, Annie, you lost everything. Thank you, All American. Yeah, I really do. It's already happening. Like, there was a family, the husband went home, and then another one that I talked about with the three boys, and his wife was not home at the time, and he went in, got his rifle, and that was it. And he took out all three of his sons, babies, and then he sat down, just sat down and waited for the police. And the crime rate is sickening. This country is falling apart. Like, we don't have to have boots on the ground because it's already imploding. It's yeah, yeah. No, I don't mean not get a little extreme, but I wouldn't say that in the chat. I would retract that. I would retract that comment real quick, and I would be quiet from this point forward about what you do or don't have. Like, honestly, I lost everything in a boat collision. Y'all remember that? Beth D hit me. I miss Beth D, but Beth D hit my boat, knocked all my preps into the water. I lost everything, and y'all better get on point about that because I'll tell you what, Odessa, nice to see you, Odessa Chew. You know, when people find out that you have and they don't, and don't think that there's not perpetrators in every chat, in every social media platform, and that people aren't trying to scope in on you, your neighbors, your friends, and family. And some of these folks are going to be so needy that they would wipe you out in a few days or months if they came in. And that's fact. Yeah, we're definitely in spiritual warfare. It's good versus evil, and right now we know if you're biblical, if you read the Bible, you all know what's supposed to happen. And so we all got to keep on point. And the main thing is not to get thrown sideways. Yeah, Cherie, it may be we got storms rolling in. Um, Not to get thrown sideways because this is the old devil's opportunity to take you and to take each one of us and throw us off and say, and that's the purpose. That's one of the purposes of the agenda is to have a new world religion. To let, if you really read it, it's for two Muslims and Jewish brothers and sisters for them to go at it. And then for the new Blue Beam Project to roll in and come out of the sky and make everybody believe that it's here, that it's the second coming. Will it be? Is it going to be that? You know. Goblin King, what's up, brother? What's up? You keep changing your name, man. I can't find you now. You're the Goblin King number 0. You need. Okay, I'm glad you met. I'm glad you're in the chat so I can find you again. What are they doing? Taking you down? Speaking too much truth, brother, for them? Unless you're a different goblin. I don't know. Is this the goblin? Yeah. Yeah, well, Rick, he was on social media speaking out, talking shit on what happened. You know, and it was very interesting how they swarmed in on him. You know, it's too late. People are talking about, well, I'm gonna back up, I'm not gonna do this. When you wrote that, I know it's you. I hope that everybody stays on point. This week I am having morning news or evening news 5 days because this new program, I really want to work hard on it. Uh, Copycat, copycat. Late as always. Now, y'all need to get on point. At 7 a.m., pretty much all week, I'm going to post all the lives. Same guy, great, same story. Always seeking truth now. Yeah, I'm glad to see you. But pretty much all this week, just so you all can be on point, we are going to have morning news. I need to work with this program more. I've spent hours and hours getting it down. I hope as the storms move out that not only the audio sounds good, but the video sounds good. She's a wildflower. Good morning. I hope that each and every one of you that you stay on center, that you stay centered about everything, because they're going to try to knock us for a loop and they're going to bring more and more. Uh, What was it? Almost 3 years ago that I started YouTube, and we were talking. I laughed and I used to joke about everybody's a frog in the pot. Man, I'll tell you what, they're turning up the heat. Thank you, Mr. Willoway Ranch. They're turning up the heat, and as they turn up the heat, it's going to affect all of us, no matter what. No matter how much you've prepped, there's going to be a scenario that you haven't prepped for. Me and Dragonflies right now are putting together bags for our vehicles because of all the fires. I always thought this would be a safe, safe place. And now I'm looking like, could they? Would they? Is the question. Hell yeah, they would. They would burn out anybody, anywhere for anything. I missed that, Dreaded Seeker. And I can't scroll back. I don't think I can scroll back in the chat. I I have one more thing to do. Oh yeah, I can scroll back. I can. Yeah, the father of lies. Hmm. Satan, evil. Burnt plastic outside. And I would say, folks, if you don't have some type of respirator, you better get the respirator. You better get a respirator. If you don't have the financial capabilities to get a respirator, get some bandanas, cut a t-shirt, do whatever you got to do. Layer it. My cousin in Alaska made some really good facial masks, and they were made out of cotton, and then she layered them inside with another cotton and then sewn it together so that it would give you these 3, 4 layers out. And so, really, like if you smell that in the air, tell Mrs. Willoway I said hello. I used to come a lot. Oh well, all American. It happens. It happens. You know, look at what happened off the wall prepper. They took me down, and it is what it is. I hope that each one of you, if you, like I said, seriously on a serious note, think about your first aid. Think about your breathing apparatus. And also, if you have the financial capability on Amazon, and I don't have it handy, I'd have to run across our 8,000 square foot cabin. I'd have to run across our little bunker and search for it, right? But they have bottles of oxygen. Athletes use them. It's a great prep to add in. Because if you have someone that has asthma or a breathing condition, first of all, please don't let them go out if you're smelling plastic. If you're near one of these we've had a painting plant that caught on fire. We've had recycling centers catch on fire. And I kept thinking, what is in the recycling centers? Rubber, a lot of rubber, a lot of tires. I don't know if y'all, they always tell you never to burn tires. Yeah, yeah, Annie Oakley. That's a big concern with me, is the fire. Um, but think about breathing in. Go light a tire on fire. Stand over the top of it and see how you feel. Yeah, most definitely keep the faith. But these liquid bottles of oxygen, athletes use them. So, like, if they go from sea level to high altitude, like Denver, from San Diego to Denver, and they're having breathing issues just because of the change in altitude, you can buy them. And we bought some there, I think they were like $40. And they're little mini bottles, and you can just hold them up and poof, And I think that's something that, especially if you have little kids, elders, somebody on a breathing machine, you figure out a way as soon as possible to protect them. Yeah, Cherie. We bought some, and you know, I'm saving them back. I do have a bad lung, and that bad lung happened many, many years ago when I was a kid, and it's still an issue. And sometimes that's why, maybe I shouldn't smoke, but also you'll hear me have coughing attacks. I don't have asthma. I don't have COPD. The doctor said they couldn't believe how good my breathing was. But it's really, really important to think about what if the Patriot Supply, and yes, we're an affiliate, but you can go anywhere and buy them. It's a fire hood. When I crap out of me, I'll be honest. They threw me in a fuel pit, and inside a burning fuel pit with a burn suit on. And at that time, I just got out of high school, and I was pretty skinny. I weighed like maybe 120 pounds. Well, I fell down in the pit and had JP5 fuel flames around me that were 10 foot, 15 foot high. And getting up out of that fuel pit with that, like, I was scared shitless. I'm 18. just went through boot camp, just went through A school, and the next thing they want me to do is get fire certified once I got to San Clemente Island. When I went down and I had one knee up, I was like, get up, no matter what I got to do, right? So those fire suits, you have to look for the right one, and you can get a cheaper one that will at least protect you if you had to. You can run in them, like they're tight enough that you could run. They run roughly 120 to 150 bucks, but just the face mask, the fire face mask, is really important. It's different. It's made out of a different material. I can't remember the material off the top of my head, but it comes down, and it's not like a nuclear mask or anything like that. It's actually made for firefighters, and they run like, I think on my Patriot Supply they have them only for like 30, 40 bucks. It's good enough to give you that 10 to 15 minutes to poof out as far as you can. Yeah, I just used the Sky tram, or I forgot what it's called. My buddy has it, and he let me operate it, which was really cool. American Prepper. You should go watch my short on it. So I cut a barrier around us, but it's not enough. We're in the middle of 350 acres of pure forest. And our next thing, as soon as we load our vehicles, as soon as we load the vehicles, we are going to see how long it would take to get in our vehicle and drive to the nearest highway. I'm thinking, even hauling ass, we got 10 to 15 minutes, and it can enclose on us very quickly. So fire evacuation is very important. At 60 bucks, maybe 50 bucks a person. But like, what about your babies, right? What about your kids? Uh, be on point, folks. Don't try to say, I'm going to stick it out. Even people in Maui, when this happened to them, the ones and the numbers, I just want to let you know, are not. Uh, I went to Hawaii, and I went to all three islands. Well, I went to three of the islands. I went to Maui, Oahu, and Kauai. And I want to say this, that the numbers that are coming from propaganda are far from true. Far. I want you to understand, when you're on Front Street, there's only one way in and one way out unless you're a local and you really know what you're doing. And most people that were on Front Street shopping, on Front Street eating at a restaurant, I highly, highly doubt that they made it out. And the numbers that I am getting from different resources right now, until confirmed, I will not say them, are way more than four digits. So we also have a very weird situation about Hawaii, that there was this big land grab going on over there, a big development they wanted to put in. And see, there's certain things in Hawaii, if you were born and raised in Hawaii and you say, no, I'm not going to sell, one, the government hardly ever, I don't even know if it's ever happened in the history of Hawaii, that they have done an eminent domain. But there was a lot of approaches the last two out Front Street, and no one wanted to sell. And think about this, if it all gets burnt down. Yeah, I didn't like it that much, copycat. Not when I was 18. Now I like, well, I don't know. I like fire. I like to do things with fire, and you're right. But in Hawaii, when they got approached to sell, people that were natives, and if y'all got to realize that the majority of natives in Hawaii are not Hawaiian any longer. It's Japanese and Hawaiian. If you go over there as an American, you are a Holly, even though it's part of America. And so when they approached not only the native Hawaiians, they approached many Hollies that have shops, and a lot of historical things were on Front Street that are no longer there. Now, who is going to be the players. And that's what I think we need to watch. Because when we see the players come in to try to rob Hawaii, we will know who some of the real evil ones are. They had a video out. Oprah, she owns a lot of land there. They had a video out of a gymnasium, but they were saying it was Oprah. I never seen Oprah look like that. That's just the truth. Not that Oprah looks. This lady was skinny, and she had a big floppy hat on and big sunglasses, and even her facial shape. Don't be deceived by videos because anybody can do anything. The technology that we're seeing is way behind the technology they got, including 2.5 years ago, I talked about if you ever get a major headache and you're standing in front of a window, you may be being targeted. And I said, step to the left or step to the right. Because at that time, the technology the things that were coming out were saying that you could still, move to the left or the right. But, think about it. Um, there's some serious things. Thank you, Tamara, for watching the chat. Thank you for my mods watching the chat. I appreciate it. Let's be kind and courteous and loving in the chat, um, and not derogatory and hateful in any way. That's the only thing I ask of the chat. I want us to have free speech because, boy, free speech has been a little bit on the boom side, right? It has been on the boom side. It's so hot down here when the grid goes down, we're going to lose a lot of people. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, because they won't be able, they're not even used to the heat, and Florida's rough. I mean, we live down there, and Dragonflies is from there, and it is rough. But the thing is also, it's time to start turning your AC down and not using it as much so that you can get used to it. I know a lot of people that have survived without AC their whole lives. You know what I mean? That would be. I hope that you stay on point. There will be a brief news broadcast later today of some video information that's coming out. I'm glad everybody's here. Please hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down if you can't stand me, whatever. But and if you're new here, we welcome you to the chat. Most of us are pretty nice. You got to watch a few of them in the chat, like All American Prepper. He'll get out of hand over there. But yeah, perfectly fine. Has posted the list of major landowners in Maui. Let's see. Investigate Maui. Investigate what really occurred. That's for sure. Rick, Mikey. Mikey's on his way to see you, Rick, in a Speedo. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Very, very interesting, Goblin. Invested in the Bluebird buses. Mm. Good point. Good point, man. You're welcome, Boo. Yeah, they did pass. I mean, people survived the heat. And also think about how you're going to store your food without electricity. You can say you have a generator, you can say you have 1,000 gallons of gas, but sooner or later, long-term survival guide, it's the off-grid living plan for 5 years. And this dude is on point. He's on point. I'm very impressed with this, and I want to thank Huga Huga for this and the a-hole keychain and patch. I'm gonna put that patch on my shoulder and wear it proudly. Yeah. Well, George, we got storms coming in. All right, everyone, have a great day. God bless each and every one of you. I'm gonna. Does anybody want to stay for a couple songs? I will. I got plenty of time. I'm off work today. Hit a one. Hit a one. Hit a one. If you want to listen to some music. Who wants to come back around center with me? You do? I think we do have some pretty good mods, but all American, if well, sparkle on and have a great day. Anybody want to stay for music? Hit a one. I think I only got a couple videos that I can do, but anybody? Nobody? Okay. Okay, ready. Whatever you all want. I'm bringing this background center. Thank God each and every day for you, for each one of you that are here in the chat. I thank God that I have dragonflies. I thank God for the birds. And I thank God for the deer that might have to provide me food in the future. And right now in the chat, just say one thing that you're thankful for today. Because we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We only got today and the now, right now, to make a difference and be the light, love, and hope. And we got to stay on point. Yeah. Don't give up. Don't give in. And God bless you all. I really, truly care. And we're going to go ahead and take it out saying thank you to God for what He provides, for Him bringing all of you to this channel, and for me having the pleasure to meet you and know you. The time's near. Prepare your house. And don't give up. When something knocks you off center, fall down to your knees and pray. Because that's the only real thing that we can trust is the Lord. He is the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end. Nobody can wish Him away. Science can't explain Him. And brothers and sisters, when the time happens, which we already are seeing, don't falter. Don't fall for the deceptions and the lies of Satan. We're in a battle for our souls. May God bless and hold each and every one of you. Till I see you again. Big, huge prepper hugs. I'll come back on after the music. God bless.
I got nothing to worry about when you're by my side. I got nothing to worry about when you're by my side. I looked out and I saw the rain. I wanted it to go away. I felt the weight of it all come down. I braced from the deafening sound. But you were there, holding my hand. I got nothing to worry about when you're by my side. I got nothing to worry about when you're by my side. I bled from the wound for at least a year. I couldn't clean it up. You were there, holding my hand, my hand. I got nothing to worry about when you're by my side.